What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders, powered today by BetUS, and we're going to be diving into one of the more requested film breakdowns of this week, and that is the play of David Ojabo. I think folks have seen the production stack up a little bit. 4 pressures through his last 2 games, coming off of 21 total pass rush snaps. Pretty good conversion. So people are wondering, what's it looking like? Are we seeing improvement? Are we kind of seeing the type of guy that we spent the second round pick on, coming off that torn Achilles? And I mean, if you guys have followed the channel for a while, I don't usually do negative pieces. I try and focus on the positive stuff, show you guys the honest story. And, I'm not here to try and drag down David Ojabo. I'm not here to, I don't talk about his career in a bad way. It's not like that. He's working back from a very, very difficult injury, one that, led to a second injury that was likely caused from the first one when he hurt his knee last year. So, he's been through a lot, and his career's still young. He's still a young man, young player. So, this isn't meant to be a disrespect piece, but what I want to do is temper your expectations and caution, because when we get into the film here, I'm not seeing the guy that we drafted, and the production not really being anything that wows me. You take a look at the sack he got. It kind of was a cleanup sack off of a off of a sack that should have been Michael Pierce's, a QB hit that actually led to Marlon Humphrey's pick six that should have, that kind of came off of, a tight end block release. So we'll get into it. And I'm just here to give you guys the context. I'm not here to drag them down. Before we jump into it, go over to BetUS, use promo code YouTube150. You'll get 150% sign up bonus. They have the lines up and ready to go for Christmas Day. Get over there, use that money, more money in your pocket. You guys can go over there, add $50 to a $100 bet that's going to be free to you guys. That just increases how much money you're going to win. So go check out BetUS, get that done. We appreciate it. And let's get into this film here. So we are going to start in the Steelers game. This is going to be the QB hit. Let's run it through, and then we'll break it down, see what's going on here. Yeah, this is going to be the QB hit that leads to the interception. And so this is what I mean. So there's Marlon Humphrey undercutting. So this play is going to start. You're going to get double tights on Ojabo's side, and off the snap, you get Pruitt, who stays in. So Humphrey's in man coverage on Pruitt. So he's going to stay in and single block Ojabo. And Ojabo is in a read here because of the play action, so no issue there. Pruitt's going to release and let Ojabo go. So this isn't like a clean pass rush snap. It's off play action. And once he charges down, he gets the QB hit in. And, one thing I will say is, like, that's the explosive athleticism, right? Like, as soon as he gets it off here, he covers 7 yards in about 2 steps. And that's a big reason why that throw was rushed, because as soon as his target, which is the tight end release, because they're in man coverage, you can see right at the bottom of your screen here, Washington and I believe that's Stevens have tight coverage on the 2 deeper receivers. So he goes to his check down. So Ojabo's pressure absolutely leads to Marlon Humphrey, getting a chance to jump this route because he had to force Russell. So credit him there. Like, this is a good play. This shows that athleticism. It's not a clean pass rush win, and we're not seeing this consistently throughout his reps. That said, this is the rep where, if you guys do want hope, like, to me, that's the potential. That's what he could bring. If he can do this consistently, that's the type of thing he brings to the table. It's that ability to get upfield. And that's my biggest disappointment when I go through his tape, is I don't see that explosive upfield athleticism. We can even see it here. He's getting up and he's going to hands on. And it's really Matabike collapses the interior, which forces Russell Wilson to scramble, and that's how Ojabo gets out and tries to go for more contact on Wilson. So but this is a bit of a dead rush, and when I say dead rush, it's basically a 2-hand bull rush, nothing really happening. So right there, 2 hands on, his head's inside. I don't really think he's trying to attack inside, so he doesn't really have his leverage point where he wants it to be. So it's just a bit of a dead rush. And so as he moves upfield there, again, you see that explosive step that he can take, but he's not taking that explosive step off the line of scrimmage, off the ball. It's happening later. And that's what is the biggest difference from him at Michigan and him now, is those explosive first 2 steps upfield just aren't here, and they were here in Michigan. So is that a result of he's being asked to do something else? Is it he's what's another good example? He could be in a more of a contained role. He could be being coached to do this. Or is it the impact of the injuries? And we just don't know because we haven't gotten to see consistent film on him, unfortunately. But this is where we're at right now. Keep rolling it here, get into the next one. And this was a great play. Again, we see flashes of this athleticism. Obviously, we don't want to see that. That's kind of the Odafe way. But I love how they can incorporate him. So you're going to get Matabike. He's going to attack that inside hand. And Ojabo actually comes inside the center. Zach Frazier takes a step a little bit too early to find work on Matabike. So as he steps in, that completely opens the lane. And again, there's that athleticism from Ojabo. He just doesn't finish. Classic. But, that is, again, you're seeing some flashes of this athleticism. So if you want hope, that's what it is. It's just we need to see it off the ball at the line of scrimmage and paired with some of his pass rush counters that we've seen in the past, especially at Michigan. Here we get the sack that he got in the Giants game, and that's what I mean. So you're going to get Michael Pierce pushing up the pocket here. As he gets that, Ojabo cleans it up. So, I mean, again, he found him. He goes through the fray, and he gets the sack for sure, but it's not – none of these 4 pressures that he's been credited with in the last 2 weeks have been clean – individual efforts. Even when you take into account the stunt is still a pressure off the stunt. So all 4 pressures being either, late off of a scramble, off of a stunt, a tight end release. So again, we're seeing some flashes within the plays, but it's just not, I think, what we all expected. So here's going to be part of my problem, and it's going to be these dead rushes. And again, I'm used to seeing him fly up the line of scrum or fly up the field, and he was always a vertical rusher. So his first 2 steps would be very much downfield rather than in at the tackle. And this is what we're going to see here. There we are with those 2 hands. And I'm just seeing too much of this 2-hand, bull rush where he's just not really trying to do anything. You see him just kind of get clamped up there by Illuminor. Malik Harrison comes in and gets the credit for the sack, but not a clean win there originally. Here we get another one against the Giants. Goes for the 2-hand swipe and then gets locked up. And this was one of his go-tos, and he just doesn't have that explosive step up field. And, his hands miss. They don't hit where he wanted them to hit. So just, we're not seeing kind of that promise we saw at Michigan, in my opinion. Here again, another dead rush against Pittsburgh. Just not a whole lot going on there. And, that's kind of, these dead rushes are what's killing me on his tape. There's no explosiveness. There's no upfield rush. He used to be really good at kind of threatening the edge and creating those short corners with his athleticism. So I think that athleticism's still there. I think we kind of saw it in some of those closes, but we're just not seeing it off the ball, off the line of scrimmage. And that's the big takeaway for me. So again, not trying to tear this kid down at all. Not my intention. Just trying to caution you guys with the expectations, because I saw a lot of people being like, we're finally getting pass rush production. And I'm just a little worried about how much it was manufactured off of some pretty specific looks he was given, and especially, the almost sack off the stunt, tight end release where, credit him again for pushing up field, but, it was a tight end release. None of them were kind of clean pass rush wins. That's my biggest concern. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this quick breakdown, and hit subscribe if you're new here. Thank you to BetUS.